You know, I'm still trying to figure out why I'm reading these books. I guess because I bought them. I guess that's the bottom line. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smashy stuff going on here. So, we are on book 2 of the Fiona Buckley Ursula Blanchard series. And please, if you did not see my rant in book 1, please go see my rant from book 1. I partially read, so we will do a reread at some point. I read book 23, and it wasn't until I was in the middle of the video that it occurred to me why I didn't like it, why I didn't like all the family news at the beginning. And I usually love family news. I usually love catching up with characters. That's my favorite part of books. And you know what? It occurred to me, you haven't read the first 22. If you had read the first 22, you'd know all the people in book 23. And that's why I didn't like it. So when you read a series, you really must start with book 1. And I like these type of historical books. But Ursula, and I've also discovered, Ursula is no Skye O'Malley. She is not Beatrice Small Skye O'Malley. If you have not seen my Beatrice Small Skye O'Malley videos, please go check those out. My little channel here. No one is watching. I've done well over 1,000 videos. I do 15, 16, 17 videos a week. No one's watching. So anyways. So I'm still trying to figure, Ursula just isn't, there's so much stuff, she just doesn't have the backbone. She doesn't have the fierce independency that Skye O'Malley does. However, she is becoming enslaved to the queen like Skye O'Malley was on, could you do me a favor? Could you do this for the crown? I'll give you, although with, Ursula's thing, it's, wait a minute. With Skye, she was doing it to give her children land, or to get a certain house, or to get a favor from the queen. Ursula's getting paid. We don't think she's getting paid that much, but she is getting paid to support her daughter. And I think that she should have her daughter at court with her. I think she should, but, so she's got her daughter with these people. So we also start this book with, her servants married. They weren't married in the first book, but they're married in the second book. And apparently a year has transpired since the first book. So, and it is 1561. So let me see. I think I've already talked about all of this. So, yeah, I already talked about this. I wrote my notes. I've already said about the book 23. And also in book 1, as we know at the end, Ursula left her second husband, Matthew, for the queen. Because Matthew still believes in Mary Stuart, and Ursula believes in Queen Elizabeth. So they've got a little thing going between them. So she left him, and she did give him a little time to escape the queen's shackles, and he did escape, and he's living in France. And she loves him, but apparently she loves the queen more. So we start this book. Oh, and we have a few more extra characters in this book. We still have Sir William Cecil, the Queen's secretary. Fran is her lady's maid, and Dale is Fran's husband, but he's also Ursula's manservant. We do reference Aunt Tabitha and Uncle Herbert, who Herbert spent some time in jail because of all the stuff, all the funding of Mary Stuart that he did in the previous book. We also talk about Jack Dawson. He was a spy, and he went by a nickname of Jack Daw. I have no idea. We also have Dr. Ignatius Wilkins. He's sometimes he's referred to as a priest, sometimes he's referred to as a schoolmaster. We have Dr. Crichton. She stays with Leonard Mason and his wife there. So let me get to it before I get ahead of myself here. So they have so she starts the book off by asking the queen if she can leave the court and get her daughter and go to Matthew, because it's been a year, she still loves him, she still wants to see him. And so the queen says, well, you can't go now, you can go in May. And but I need you to do this task first. So William Cecil sets her up with this task that's going to take a while. He wants her to go live with this family and pretend, or not pretend, but teach this guy's kids some stuff. He needs a teacher for the females for knitting, embroidery, from instruments. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. She's a paper queen. She loves putting paper and then going under it. She loves hiding objects under the paper and then having to dig it out. She likes to give herself obstacles. It's what she does. So she's digging under my papers. So he wants her to go live with this family, and he's going to write letters of reference for her, like, we know her, but we don't know her. And they have a person in their household who says they know her. They know her better than they're saying in their letters. And he ends up mysteriously dead. So William Cecil sends her to this family to do her little spying. They want to get proof that this guy is supporting Mary Stuart. Apparently, you know, she's gonna knock over my book tower. I have a book tower. And she's gonna knock it over. So where were we? Sorry. The towel went. So she apparently, I'm gonna buy this book from you. And let's say the actual cost is $1, but I'm gonna give you $5 because the $1 may be for the book, but the extra $4 is gonna go support Mary Stuart. So she's supposed to go investigate what's going on because this guy has got all these expensive stuff, these tapestries and all this other expensive stuff that he's getting, but he doesn't have the money. His lifestyle doesn't support the money. His income doesn't support this. So where's the money coming from? Why is he purchasing these expensive items from these people? And in the long run, it turns out that they're supporting Mary Stuart and they're working to get Mary Stuart back on the throne. And they need to investigate. They need to find proof. So they send Ursula to get into the household. And apparently, she's like the fourth person to go in. There were other people that were doing, we find out later, minor infiltrations. and they've all ended up deceased by the end of the book. And so Ursula goes, and so she's staying with these people and she's investigating, and her daughter is like 35 minutes, an hour away at this house. And they're like, why aren't you staying at this house? And she's like, oh, but the Hendersons, well, yeah, they're above society. She gives some excuse of she makes something up, and they really don't buy it. But she's here to teach their kids the girl stuff, and her daughter is over at the Hendersons, and it would make sense if she was traveling back and forth or something. So she does go visit the daughter a couple of times because Henderson is her liaison to Cecil up in London, and they're passing messages. And at one point, she sends a message. Oh, that was the last book. She sends a message with the groom, and he gets beaten. This time, the manservant goes off, and he gets locked up. He gets caught. And we have an unexpected visitor at the end of the book. I won't tell you who that is, but we have an unexpected visitor. So that's basically, there's really no subplot here. It's all about her finding the goods on Mason. And Mason is also an inventor, and he's trying to follow Da Vinci's, not Da Vinci, the other guy. No, yeah, Leonardo's. The plane, not the painting, but the plane, the guy, yeah, the guy from Voyager. I keep thinking of the guy from Voyager with the Raven episode. But he's doing all this mechanical stuff. But you have to follow the little clues. And this thing happens in the beginning of the book where this person presents this queen with this gift. I guess this is a spoiler. It isn't until later on in the book that you see the significance of that. But anyways, I really didn't follow my notes too much here. But we do get so you have to read the book to find out if Fiona ever leaves for Matthew, because I'm pretty sure she doesn't. Because as I said in my last video, and I don't know what the F is up with you. It's just my bookmarks. These books. Oops. So, we got some more reading to do. You gonna read with me? I don't know. I just don't know. So, there's no double in this at all. I have no idea what that was. It's just maybe the guy's buying stuff that he can't afford to support Mary Stuart. That's basically it. Ursula, somebody tries to kill Ursula like 3 or 4 times. Somebody tries to kidnap her a couple times. You get an explanation at the end of the book for that, but there's also a surprise visit, like I said. You know, I wanted to, I didn't read it the last time, but I wanted to read it this time because it was important. I enjoy the author notes at the end of the book, especially Victoria Thompson. But so she Miss Buckley also has the author notes. In the course of this book, I stretched a few historical points, but not beyond the bounds of possibility. Bishop de Quadriceque Borges really did betray his master. In 1562, the year after this book was 1561. He passed on the information to Cecil about a very serious intrigue which de Quadra was involved. For all we know, he may have been passing on smaller pieces of information earlier than that. The musical box was not actually invented until the late 18th century and first appeared in Switzerland. It was developed from the watch mechanism and to begin with consisted of a disc with a steel pin, which tapped against a fan of teeth as the disc revolved. The cylinder-type box in which the pins were set around a barrel and tapped against a comb of tuned teeth was first invented in the early 19th century. Nevertheless, clock mechanisms were quite well developed by the time of the first Elizabeth. A clock chimed in the quarter hours was built for Wells Cathedral in 1389. By 1488, pendant watches would strike the hours had come into existence. On New Year's Day, 1571, the Earl of Leicester presented Queen Elizabeth with a ruby bracelet with a clock set in the clasp, in other words, a valuable wristwatch. So, you gonna join me for book 3? Where is it? Book 3. We'll see what happens. I bought them. I might as well read them. Have a good one.